Brief excerpt from the subtype program of people born on September 23rd of leap years or September 24th of common years. Information is presented using women as an example and is selectively taken from the catalog of human population. This woman can be defined as a woman surprise or a woman of unpredictability. She's like wet soap that slips and slides in one's hands and eventually often slips out. This woman's inner essence constantly tends to elude any specifics, definitions, classification, or any structuring. She's also sudden, all contradictory. All this makes the impression that she's undefinable, unknowable. Despite that she has very good analytical skills, she cannot understand herself and others cannot either. All this occurs because it seems that there is nothing to hook on. There is no end of the thread using which it would be possible to try to unravel the tangle. Since this woman's behavior is based on complete lack of consistency in everything, it seems that it is simply impossible to identify a clear algorithm of her actions. For her, there are no set rules of life, like there are for some other people. Also, she does not follow any clear and unchanging guidelines. For example, in the intellectual factor, one day this person can talk about one thing with passion and conviction, and the next day she can express a point of view that is completely opposite and even somewhat contradicting. In the nutritional factor, today she eats only shrimp because she is convinced that it is healthy and tasty, and tomorrow she will confidently state that she does not like shrimp, never liked it, and actually hates it. In the physical factor, one day this woman wears only classical style clothing, and the next day she changes her view on how to dress. Her style changes completely, and she wears something marginal-original, dresses like a punk, for example. However, the main thing is that she does not think things up, and she's not acting. She's simply that as she is, as it flows from one form to another. And there are manifestations of her essence. Since this individual is changing constantly, it seems that the algorithm itself does not exist. However, in nature things do not work like that. In nature everything has its own algorithms, and the human, like it or not, is a part of it and is subject to its laws. Therefore, notions like undefinability, unknowability, and unpredictability do not represent the true state of things. They rather mean lack of information, lack of knowledge, or misunderstanding of some phenomenon or object. For this reason, with respect to this individual, it is possible to say that her stable algorithm is lack of consistency on all factors. Considered person is constant only in one thing, in her inconsistency, in her constant changeability. Due to this algorithm of constant change, this person does not assume any, so to speak, stable form for a long time. It is more like she changes from one form to another. Inconstantly, an absence of a single established form can be seen as a sign of a lack of systematization. This woman is an anti-system. The only key to understanding the algorithm of functioning of her psychophysiology, the algorithm of her actions, as well as manifestations of her qualities as an individual, is an understanding of her essence as an anti-system. In order to try to predict her future actions, behavior, thought process, and so on, it is necessary to define forms that she assumes. Her personal forms are like railway stations, which a train passes by with or without making a stop. A train moves and changes its position in space and time, while the stations are stationary, immobile, and therefore are easier to study and describe. For example, this woman is very curious, and her curiosity extends to a wide range of different areas of life and scientific knowledge. She can be interested in lots of things at the same time. She might become interested in treatises on politics, or correspondence of Ivan the Terrible, and historical descriptions of the lives of Roman patricians. She can get into classical German philosophy, quantum mechanics, and the art of photography at the same time, and all with the same interest. She might engage in painting, banking, writing memoirs and research articles, higher mathematics and poetry, all at the same time. This occurs for two main reasons, which exist within inconsistency as the main algorithm of this person. Firstly, this woman has the desire and the ability to build her intellectual potential. There is a peculiarity in this person's intellectual factor. The more information she receives for processing, the better her intellect works. Its power and volume begin to increase. This woman seeks to obtain the maximum amount of knowledge, because her individual capacity directly depends on the volume of incoming information, and there is a tendency to develop it. Secondly, the tendency to have a huge range of activities and interests is caused and explained by the potential ability of this woman to be successful in many different areas. On the one hand, this potential ability to succeed in any areas, but on the other hand, it can pose an impediment, because there is a trait. This woman cannot engage in anything for a long time. If you enjoyed the brief overview and would like to get a complete description of this or any other person, you can do so at www.humanpopulationacademy.org.